few words from our maids of honor, Adriana and Santina Scotty.
Hello, everyone. Before I begin, I want you, Dan. Hey, Dan. Dan, come on. Spotlight's on me now. I want you to place your right hand on top of Danielle's hand. I want you to keep it there during the entire speech, okay? So I want to first introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. I'm Danielle's lovely sister, Santina, and the maid of honor, along with Adriana, the younger sister, who is also the maid of honor. I would also like to, on behalf of my family and Dan's family, to thank all of you for coming. And also thank you for being a part in Danielle and Dan's special day. I could not have imagined a more perfect day for the two of them, with everyone close to their hearts present here. I know that only one important person is missing, and that is Nono. But then I know that he is here in spirit. I was always fortunate enough to have an older sister growing up. She was my role model, someone to look up to, a best friend. Today, as I stand by her as her maid of honor, I can only hope that I follow in her footsteps as a younger sister, as successful and beautiful as you are today. Growing up with Danielle, we always talked about boys. That's just what girls do. I knew that after our first talk, after their first date with Dan, that something was different about him. After their first date, Danielle and I sat on her bed, just like we always would. We talked about it. And she had mentioned to me right off the bat that he was the one. So I knew after that first talk that we had that he would be sticking around. Now that's if my parents approved. Dan, I feel fortunate and blessed to have you as part of our family. But I have to be honest and tell you exactly what that means. Being the only child, you are probably used to quiet, reserved holidays. Well, that stops right here. Big families, loud voices, and food, which you can see, or you will see from the 60 plates of cookies that will be surrounded by you, all are in the near future. So I just want to tell you to pace yourself. Dan, you still have that hand over Danielle's? All right, good. So being Danielle's sister and putting up with her for the last 23 years, I have learned a lot. I just wanted to tell you a couple of things to the group. Number one, first and foremost, a girl can never have too many shoes. You can indeed match shoes with every single outfit. So Dan, you better be prepared to have that truckload of shoes coming up at your door. You're going to want to designate an entire room, not just a closet, for all of Danielle's shoes. Second, Dan, you have to remember that you don't own a race car. You can indeed get speeding tickets. And Danielle needs that money for shoes. So lastly, you are probably all wondering why I had Danielle put her hand, or Dan put his hand on top of Danielle's hand during the entire speech. It's because that this will be the last time that Dan has the upper hand in this marriage. So I wanted to continue our speech with Adriana coming up. So I hope you all enjoy. Yo, DJ. Now this is the story all about how Danielle ended up in a wedding gown, and I'd like to take a minute to sit right there. I'll tell you how she became a member of the Desno family. didn't spend most of their days chilling out, laughing, relaxing all cool along, sipping on drinks, not even acting a fool. When came a man right out of business school, started making moves towards the only he knew he could. Give it one last shot before he got scared. He said, "Hi, how are you? May I sit there?" He tried many times a year after the stay. He wasn't so sure and sent him on his way. But one dinner at tomorrow when things began to click, appetizing drink, she thought I might as well kick it. First class, this man ain't bad. Drinking carry out right out of a champagne glass. Is this what you came mad treat women like? And he might be alright. Done by my dad at the time was just scared to ask for approval while sipping some beers. If anything, my dad did stand wouldn't dare. He thought, nah, forget it, you two are a pair. They pulled up to the house around 7 or 8, and he yelled to my daddy, "Yo, Dad, see you later." Looked at Danielle and knew he was finally there. He sat down with his princess, and the death go family, yeah!